Hi, everybody. This is Kristen from No Trypophobia. I hope everybody is staying safe, sane, and secure during this lockdown. For those of you who don't know, I am in Merida, Mexico. I've now been here for 7 weeks. We've had a pretty strict lockdown, which may or may not end next week. I kind of doubt that it will. So it's been a rough, you know, 7 weeks, but I am getting used to my new home and finding out that I think I'm going to love it here. But I wanted to take the time today to talk to you a little bit about something that has been an unexpected blessing for me during lockdown, and that is online teaching. Some of you may or may not know that I have been teaching online for the past few years. I started doing it when I was in grad school because I wanted extra money. And then I continued doing it when I was in India because I really, really love my students. So the money was a good thing, but yeah, the students were, were even more important. So I luckily had a fallback job when everything happened with COVID. I've worked in tourism for 15 years, which the chances of getting another job in that now are pretty slim. So instead, I've taken the opportunity to increase my teaching hours. And throughout the past few years, um, teaching has been a wonderful thing for me. It helped me stay sane during grad school because when I was working on my master's thesis and really, really stressed out, when I would sign on for my shift and I would see this happy little face pop up, it made the world seem like a much better place. So it's hard to be grumpy when you had like a giggling 6-year-old in front of you. So fast forward to lockdown. Um, for my time here, I have not really met anybody. I moved here when Merida was already in lockdown, so it was impossible to meet anybody. Most of the people that I interact with when I go to the grocery store speak only Spanish, and I'm trying to learn Spanish as fast as possible, but it is a painful process. So for more or less 7 weeks, I had a very, very, very limited interaction with anybody in real life. And besides a few Skype or Zoom calls, I, I was pretty isolated. So one of the things that helped me actually stay even somewhat sane is teaching. My students, I mean, some of them I've had for close to 2.5 years. So I've watched them grow up. They know me, I know them. And they are ridiculously amusing. So every class, there's going to be some crazy thing that happens, or I should say every shift. And I end every day laughing with them. So today, I wanted to record this. It's something I've been thinking of for a while. But today I had a class with one of my favorite students. She's about 4 and she loves everything sparkly and rainbows and stars. And today we were talking about what we like to do. And she said, I like to fly. And it's like, okay, cool. And she's like, yeah, like a genie. I was like, a genie? I was like, do you mean a fairy? She's like, no, a genie. And I was like, pretty sure you mean a fairy. And she got up to get something. And so I Googled an image of a fairy and showed it to her. And I showed her a few of them. She's like, oh, yeah. And then I showed her an image of a genie. And her response was just like, what? What? I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I thought when you kept saying that you were a genie. A few days ago, I had a student who she was trying to learn the vocabulary word dance. And so she was getting up and dancing, and her mom's trying to pull her back down into her seat. At one point, she turned around and was booty shaking to the camera. So I know I'm supposed to keep a straight face for that, but I'm sorry, but that's really, really hard to not laugh at. And even just a few weeks ago, I was teaching one of my favorite long-standing students, and she has an adorable 5-year-old brother. So at the end of class, we always do a little celebratory dance. It lasts about a minute. And I looked down for a few seconds just to click on the next slide. And I looked back up, and my 10-year-old girl was turned into a 5-year-old boy. To say I was confused is an understatement. And so her little brother, who I swear is a ninja, snuck in and stood right in front of her. And so I was, like I said, very, very confused. Um, but it's things like that. This is just, in the past few weeks that I've had these funny things happen, and every single day something really funny happens. And hopefully, this may make you smile. Maybe it'll remind you of your children, your nieces, your nephews, and brighten your day like these kids do mine. I never thought that I was going to be a teacher. I've never considered myself as one. But I'm so incredibly grateful that I have something like this right now getting me through. So hope everybody is happy, secure, safe. Be careful wherever you are in the world, and I hope to see you soon.